All I can imagine when you just said that was Ross screaming pivot.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a very weird.
I had to check the date on this multiple times to make sure I wasn't just
still getting fooled.
Yeah. Allbirds,
the shoe company,
has decided they're done with shoes. They're done with clothes. They are transitioning their long-term vision to become a fully integrated GPU as a service and AI native cloud solutions provider.
Do you know that scene in Friends? And I'm asking maybe more Lorenzo than Robert, where it is Chandler, Rachel, and Ross getting a couch up the stairs.
Pivot. Yeah. Yeah.
All I can imagine when you just said that was Ross screaming pivot.
Yeah.
From DogHouseSystems.com, this is the DogHouse Podcast.
Welcome back to the DogHouse Systems Podcast. As always, I am joined by Abby.
Hello.
And Robert.
Hello.
And I am Lorenzo. I hope you all are doing well. And we've got quite a few cool topics to speak about today.
So, Anthropic announced Claude Mythos model recently. It hasn't even come out yet, and it is already making people uncomfortable.
Uh-oh.
Why? Because Anthropic boasts that it is powerful enough to find vulnerabilities in virtually any software from minutes to hours of looking into it.
Software developers everywhere probably starting to panic.
Security
right now.
Experts, the whole 9 yards are probably all sweating.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it will be, I always say it's interesting. I kind of have noticed that I'm like, it'll be interesting, you know. Yeah. But I'm actually curious to see how this one is going to play out, specifically with security updates for software.
Probably a lot of major ones for a lot of places coming out
very
soon if this is used correctly.
Mm-hmm.
I hope the developers use this as, okay, I'm glad this is out. I can now know that I can fix something here, and here, rather than someone coming along and be like, wait, you made a mistake here, and here. And we have an AI that can see that and you didn't see it. Now I'm mad at you.
So I guess the idea is that the developer could then pen test their own software using this tool.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it could help patch your software before you release it.
Mm-hmm.
It could also, if you are a bad faith actor, help you kind of figure out the easy pinch points.
Yes, which is why it's probably a good thing why it's not out yet.
Which is extremely good. It's not out yet.
I feel like we're going to see a lot of things get updates very quickly as soon as this is released.
Probably.
Hopefully, that would be best case, I think. Yeah.
Probably a lot of back and forth between finding the vulnerabilities and trying to figure out what's going on.
It's probably going to have a very limited release, maybe just to places that would need it absolutely, to not be publicly available to everyone. Very important on banking apps or stuff.
I feel like that's probably like a good idea.
Yeah.
But, we'll see.
Secure everything you can as much as you can before this is out.
Continue.
Although if there's a vulnerability, maybe a password won't, password 2FA, passkey may not be enough if there's a vulnerability in the system itself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So just be on the lookout for security updates and make sure that you are downloading updates from secure websites, please. There is also a trend of people who are asking AI to generate them passwords.
I can see where at first that might seem like a good idea.
Yeah.
But Abby, how's that been going for people?
Well, senior PCMag writer Kim Key took to this trend and found that no matter what the chatbot used, they are all so insecure. It is not funny. Now, we're not talking like password, all of the numbers, not like that. But there are consistent repeating patterns and similarities that can end up getting used in attacks. So,
oh, that's unfortunate. I thought AI would be better. Like, what's the difference between Google generating you a password that they say is really secure and how an AI could just replicate that process. I thought they would be on that same level, but I guess if they're just repeating patterns and similar passwords, then that's probably not the best option to go with.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if it's breaking up like uncommonly used tokens or pieces of words and phrases and number sequences and generating those together. But then it's like, oh, this is secure. So this algorithm I used to make this is what I'm going to use to make every single password for, so then they're technically random, but there is a pattern or a similarity to them. I don't know. Because ultimately it's a large language model for this stuff. So it's working with text and sections of text.
I also feel like Google and like any of the I know Apple suggests a lot of passwords. I feel like that's more code too, that the AI may not have the code that's needed to generate these. I'm not sure. Again, I have absolutely no idea how much of this works.
Yeah, as a non-software developer, so I don't know.
As a non-coder,
I would think you'd take like a table of all of the possible characters you could use, assign random values to each one, and then generate a random number that then matches those values like in a lookup table. I don't know, but I don't know anything. I'm just a random guy on the internet.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I know there's people who use AI to make their own software and code and a system of coding. I imagine if it would be a more effective to have an AI help you code a password generator than have it actually generate
make a password.
Yeah.
Make me something that can make me an infinite number of different passwords.
Yeah. Maybe that's a good roundabout solution
that are not just password 1, password 2, password 3.
But if you reach the point where you're asking AI to generate you a password, you're probably not looking to code a whole new password generator.
Yeah, probably not. Different use case, different audience there.
Yeah. So the article that I'm actually referencing was posted April 17th. The Monday of that week, Booking.com suffered a data breach. Hackers made off with booking details, account names, email addresses, and phone numbers associated with user accounts, as well as any and all details and notes a user provides for their booking.
That's a lot of information. Yeah.
There is still not a clear number of accounts that have been affected, but the article mentions checking your inbox. I'm not sure if Booking.com has emailed out. I would kind of hope so, as they are trying to figure out how many people were affected, what was really affected.
Got to make people aware of that if your data could potentially be at risk. And most people probably wouldn't even know if they don't receive an email till it's too late.
Yeah. If you also downloaded tools like CPU-Z or HW Monitor from Cupid.com, you may have also gotten malware. A hacker hijacked the websites, displaying links to malicious downloads instead of the real ones. But the good news is it only lasted 6 hours. So hopefully not a lot of people got affected. But if you were, the malware appears to be designed to steal browser credentials and other sensitive data, and even managing to bypass some antiviral software. So
we saw that here, right? Yes, we tried to download those tools, and Windows Defender, shout out Windows Defender, tagged them as malware.
That's really good.
Yeah. Good job, Windows Defender. But
yeah, that's a really good thing. Most people have Windows Defender as their only antiviral software. So
yeah, it's a good thing that it actually works.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's one of those things, like those are tools. Hardware Monitor especially is a tool that we use pretty heavily here to pull metrics from systems. And going to those download sites, it's been a while since I've gone to the download sites. Like there's so many ads that include the word download. So if you didn't know what you were looking for, you could click on an ad that could download something. Or in this case, even if you use the legitimate download button, could have downloaded some malware.
Yeah, those green download buttons.
Yes, yeah.
Just completely look off from the website depending on how the website looks.
Right.
And there's tons of them. Yeah.
I'm not sure why this section isn't up top, but the Cloud Security Alliance recommends that security leaders prepare for Claude's Mythos. So I don't understand why that wasn't above and China just continued on. But
it's just an aside, a little note on the side on the bottom of the article.
A couple of paragraphs, just keeping it. Another not fun thing is if you have received a notification
for our listeners who are not reading our show notes, Abby did not purposely go out of her way to grab all of the bad news.
No.
This is one article.
This is a single article.
A single article. All of these topics
This is everything for like
a fun security roundup.
Fun, not so fun internet security roundup. I promise I did not. I just thought having maybe one article covering maybe a couple of the most important ones.
Yeah, we're getting the scary stuff out the way. The puppies are coming soon.
The puppies are coming soon.
Yes. Yeah.
There is a new phishing scam that targets YouTube creators and streamers. Fake copyright notices claiming to be from YouTube. So absolutely, of course, these notices aren't real. And if you go directly to your dashboard on YouTube, you'll see that they aren't there. But most people will see the copyright notice, freak out, click whatever link in the email, type in their password, and boom, the phishers got your information.
Well, that's especially scary because I think as soon as you get one copyright strike, some of your monetization is disabled on YouTube, like channel-wide or live streams. It depends on what type it is.
Probably. I'm not super familiar with the monetization of YouTube. I just know that personally as a YouTube consumer, sometimes I'm not a big fan of monetization, but I can understand why, Yeah.
And another thing with the copyright system is that it's for YouTube. I'm sure it's been abused since its beginning. So many people have been trying to copyright videos that they didn't make or had little to no involvement in. And I can see why someone could get scared of an email coming from YouTube because they're always getting copyright, or big creators are always going to be getting copyright notices from people trying to unrightfully claim their videos.
Well, this phishing scam actually has you logging into your Google account, giving them every single piece of information they need to go in and sell your account, including your YouTube channel. So if you are a large content creator or a large streamer on the platform and you end up putting in your Google information, you could potentially lose your entire channel.
Yeah. That's scary.
Yeah.
So the real solution here is the same thing as if you receive something claiming to be your bank or your financial institution. Go directly to that site.
Do not click anything on that link.
No.
Even if the email looks real, don't do it.
Yeah, go directly to the site and log in there securely instead. Yeah.
And then just delete the email. If you can, report it as spam. I'm not sure what that does, but
somewhere there's a folder and it gets put in that spam folder. Yeah.
Yep. I believe that that's all of the security internet news I have.
Thanks for keeping us in the know.
Not a problem.
Things. Yeah. It's not fun, but it's important to know this stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. In other news, Spotify's added something I think is pretty cool. Spotify added, I think 2 years ago, the ability to listen to audiobooks on the platform. And now users in the US and the UK can buy books directly through Spotify. And they'll be fulfilled by bookshop.org, an independent bookseller, which is pretty cool.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, they also have added added more languages to the page match feature, which I wasn't sure how this works. But if you're listening to an audiobook and then you go to read your physical book, when you're done reading the physical book, you use the page match feature, scan the page you're on, and that will then update your progress in the audiobook so you continue listening from there.
Oh, cool.
So you don't have to scrub around in the chapter, I guess, and look for the audio matching what you're reading. They'll also be adding have added recaps. So it says if you've missed a few chapters, audio recaps are now available to deliver short summaries that help you jump right back into the story. But I'm thinking you should be reading or listening to the chapter, right?
Well, it could be if you listen to the audiobook and you stopped and maybe read the physical book.
Gotcha.
The audiobook would give you a recap of what you read. So that way you can dive right back
Jog your memory
to continue on.
That makes more sense. I thought someone would be was very time constrained and didn't want to read these chapters, so they just want a quick summary of it.
There was
That'd be different. That would be a different.
There was a whole internet debacle because there was some woman on the internet who admitted that she skipped chapters of characters she didn't like in a book, and people got real heated about that. So
yeah,
which I can understand.
I can see that. Yeah,
don't skip chapters because you might miss important information.
Yeah. What is
why read the book? Yeah, why read it? Why engage with the story? Yeah. In other physical media related news, a little less happy this time, Disney has eliminated their entire team that managed its physical DVD and Blu-ray sales program. So this brings in question, will there be future physical media releases from the Disney company?
If they fired their whole team, probably not.
Well, I'm thinking maybe they could license it out to another company, but I don't think it bodes well.
Yeah.
Especially now that they have their own streaming service.
I do believe that if they have dropped their entire team, they are looking to
divest of that. Yeah.
Looking to push everything to their platform.
Yeah, which is not great, especially with the Disney Vault. I wonder if they'll still have that with the digital streaming platform. Because for physical media, they would release a film or a series for a time and then put it back into the proverbial vault and not have new stock of that available for years and years.
That's right.
And then release it for a special anniversary. Yeah.
I remember when they always talked about the vault.
Yeah.
It'll also be, because I know there are people who do not have Disney Plus, but they are avid physical media consumers.
Yes. Yeah.
So I wonder how that will turn out.
I don't know. It's an odd one because I subscribe to, these different streaming platforms, but I also, if I can't find a show or if it's not available on a streaming platform that I'm currently subscribed to, I want to subscribe to a new one, I'll go out and buy the box set or the film on Blu-ray, DVD, hopefully Blu-ray, but if it's old enough, probably like DVD if that's the best quality.
VHS.
I haven't gone that far yet. No, don't have any VHS in my collection, but yeah,
I remember as a kid having the plastic Disney movies with the VHSs in them.
Yeah. I can still smell those VHSs. Yeah. They had a specific scent to them. Yeah, Robert's just over here like, what are you guys talking about?
Robert's making both of us feel old.
Physical media? What?
Physical media, what's that? Yeah. Streaming is very nice, very convenient, but especially when there's a piece of media that isn't licensed anywhere, like an old show or movie or a documentary or something.
You gotta, I mean, for the most part, to find like older movies, it's either, buy to rent or buy to own.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, the whole idea of we've seen this with let's see, who was it? I think, is it Movies Anywhere? And I may be getting this wrong. It may be Movies Anywhere or Ultraviolet, one of the two, where if you purchase it on a platform, like any platform, be it physical or digital, it would make it available to you on all of the other platforms that allow you to rent it. But I think one or both those services were closed. So then all of your media was then just gone.
Oof.
Because it's a digital license to stream the video for as long as they hold the license to stream it to you. So if that contract then ends and isn't renewed, then the money that you paid to quote unquote purchase it, you just rented it for a while, essentially.
Wow.
Versus if you can buy the physical media, you have the physical disc and you can watch it as long as that disc isn't damaged or doesn't rot, because ink in those discs also degrades over time.
We have talked about this.
Great. Yeah. So there's no perfect system, but I would much prefer to have the physical disc, the media there. Yeah.
I just know that,
especially like Netflix stuff is just not available to purchase. You just have to stream it.
Or it's just like, like some of the older movies that my dad wants me, that my dad's like, I failed you as a dad to not show you this movie, It's like $3-4 to rent, but then it's like $25 to own. And I was like, it's probably cheaper to go buy to go find the DVD.
Yeah, I found, let's see here, at least here in our local area, you've got Half Price Books, Movie Trading Company, Amazon Used, which ends up usually just being fulfilled by Half Price Books or Goodwill from out of state. Really good way to find used old media.
I think Thrift Books also does DVDs and CDs. I have bought from them for used books. Very nice. They let you kind of determine what
condition you want.
you want. Yeah.
Okay. If you're interested in physical media, there you go. There are a few more sources for you. If not, then streaming is definitely, unfortunately, I think, the future of media.
Yeah. Well, X has a ultimatum from Apple. Either stop generating some not great stuff on your Grok app, or we'll remove it from our app store. The demand came from a letter sent in reply to U.S. senators who asked Apple and Google to remove the app from their app stores in January, citing the whole controversy about Grok and all of the deepfakes that we have been seeing all over the internet. NBC News got a copy of the response. Couldn't report much on it because it ended up getting paywalled. But Apple reportedly reached out to X after fielding complaints and seeing all of the news coverage and asked X to get its act together on content moderation. But while X, quote, substantially resolved its violations, the Grok app remains completely out of compliance.
Yeah, they seem to be limiting Grok's usage to certain people, but I'm not sure how they're actually addressing the deepfakes that are happening with a lot of others.
So it looks like in update X has removed the ability for users allegedly to create not great material using Grok. And in March, X also added a button that lets people block Grok from making any edits to their public photos, which is a pretty nice step. But I don't know how you reel all of this back in. You know.
Yeah. So Elon Musk wasn't very happy with all of that stuff, but he pushed back when some of the creators wanted to add guardrails to Grok, considering it over censorship. But very quickly seemed to change his tune when Indonesia banned Grok and the UK threatened to do the exact same thing. As some of the images are violations of store policies for Apple and Google, and some not great things in the US. So hopefully there will be an update to where this will not be able to happen. But my personal opinion, I don't think you should have the app. I do not understand the point of having.
You mean Grok as a standalone app?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. If it's already, if it's integrated,
Yeah, I thought the same thing.
if it's integrated into your social media platform, why are you coming out with an independent app other than to make more money?
There you go. No,
I think you answered your.
I think
your
I did
own
answer my own
yeah.
question.
it's like you get a free advertising for your app
Yeah.
within your other app that is already
Right.
popular.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think Grok gets some things wrong, doesn't it? That it's not.
all AI definitely.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
yeah,
gets
well, it goes with
something wrong.
anything. Yeah. I haven't used any of them extensively enough to know if one is better than the other for not getting things wrong.
Mhm.
But yeah,
I know. We know Grok has been like changed several times in the past.
Yeah, it keeps being completely repersonalized, I guess.
Yes,
is the way
I
you
think
put it.
the
Yeah.
last article said it was lobotomized in
Yeah.
recent events.
Yeah.
So it'll be, I guess we'll see how this one plays out. This is really, really how we're.
Yeah, I think they definitely should have had that setting to turn off the ability for people to edit
From
your
day
photo
one,
from the
yes.
start. Yeah.
I think you should have written it into the code not to do that
Just
in
add-
in the first place.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if someone wants people to edit, like, I don't know, this is going way back when, but people would say online, like, here's a photo of me doing this, roast me.
Mhm.
If someone posts something like that, then maybe, but yeah, not even with Grok, like the ability to repost and then recontextualize the image, you should have the option to opt out of that in general.
Yeah. Honestly, it should be off by default, and then
Yeah.
you should
opt into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So then
I
you
think
get
it
the
shouldn't
best of
even
both
be an
worlds.
option. Personally.
There you go.
You don't want to allow people to recontextualize anything you do to mean anything.
No.
What?
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Fair enough. It's your stuff. Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to continue our AI talk. because 54% of Americans are so tired of hearing about AI.
Let's make 60% of the podcast AI news.
For half of our listeners, we're sorry.
Yeah. Apologies.
This is the news.
This is what it's come to. So most of Americans are hitting AI fatigue. In a poll of 2,000 U.S. adults surveyed by Talker Research, 54% of them are tired of hearing about AI. The survey was conducted in March, found that 46% of respondents hear about AI so much that they describe it as being, quote, everywhere. It feels like I can never escape it, end quote.
Yes.
Feels about
Yes.
right. Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Pretty much kind of summed it up. This is kind of not a great sign as more and more businesses are dumping millions of dollars into data center construction, AI development, and everything in between.
It feels like there's no faucet of life that can escape AI being integrated into it. Can't even escape to Crimson Desert without hearing AI news
Hearing about
that.
AI. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. As another side effect, as you guys probably know, AI has worsened the memory shortage. So we apologize. There is absolutely nothing we can do about what is happening with.
Yeah. As always, we strive to bring you the best value for your dollar with our support structure and our technicians and
Our prices in general. And
yeah, but there's only so much we can do. You know, it's rough for us as well.
yeah,
To be totally transparent with our listeners. Yeah.
we do not like it probably any more than you do. Talker Research noted, quote, despite its ever-growing omnipresence, AI is still seen positively by 40% of the population, compared to 30% who see it negatively and 30% who feel neutral, end quote. It also found that 69% of adult Americans have used AI at some point. 16 use it daily, 21 a few times a week, 12% a few times a month, and 20% use it rarely.
Which bracket do you fall under?
I'm pretty sure I'd be in that 69%. You mean for the usage?
Daily,
Oh,
week?
not daily.
A few times per week?
I
few
guess
times per month?
it depends on how much, because I think that 69% may be higher than reported.
Oh, probably.
Because lots of things we interact with daily use AI.
Now have,
I can,
yeah.
If I take a photo on my phone, it's doing some AI processing
I
to clean
think
up that
it's-
image. Like, how granular are we going to get? Because if that's the case, I think I take a picture on my phone pretty much like 3-4 days out of the week. Like, I need to take a quick picture of something to then take back to my desk.
I would hope that the question would probably be like, how many times do you have an AI?
Actively interact with it.
Yeah.
Like,
How
knowingly.
often
Yeah.
do you prompt an AI?
Oh, well, then that's almost never.
So
Yeah.
rarely.
Or
For me, I'd be in that rarely
actively
category. Yeah.
seek out
Right.
using an AI? It'd probably be in that 12%.
Yeah. Speaking of AI, Adobe is transitioning their AI model from AI powered tools to, it seems like an AI workload at this point.
Great.
Fantastic. So the article here says Adobe takes Creative Cloud into Claude Code-esque territory, and it is a new direction they're going with their approach, their AI. It will include their Firefly AI assistant, which is not out yet, but they're looking to integrate it more deeply into people's workflows, not just as little tools here and there in the different programs.
Great. Sorry, I am someone who uses Adobe programming pretty frequently. So I'm unsure about how this will go. If you can have an option to opt into it and not have it completely take over your programming, that'd be so nice. But
I was going to say, it looks like it says that it checks in regularly with users for suggestions and questions. So
It's Clippy before your Adobe workflow. Hey, it looks like you're trying to edit a video. Do you want me to add a sound effect here for you? Which might be cool. The article doesn't mention anything like that. I'm just making up possible scenarios where it could, have
I have
an
a
input.
negative mindset, so I'm just thinking it's going to micromanage people, and it's going to be like, hey, you just did something wrong there. That's a
It's
mistake.
looks like your crossfade there isn't quite where it needs to be. You need to move that clip over a little bit. It's like those two layers are
calling you
overlapping
out.
a little bit. Yeah. Maybe to help
This
people be
looks
better editors.
terrible.
and content
Here's what we
creators.
suggest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Users aren't kind of like this.
In even more AI news, we'll just call it what it is.
I feel like this is a weird.
This is a very weird. I had to check the date on this multiple times to make sure I wasn't just
Still getting fooled.
still getting fooled. Yeah. No, but this was Allbirds.
The shoe company,
Yes.
for those of
Well-
you that,
That do not know. Allbirds was a shoe and clothing company.
yes.
Has decided they're done with shoes. They're done with clothes. They are transitioning their long-term vision to become a fully integrated GPU as a service and AI native cloud solutions provider. They would like to be a data center company, essentially, a compute company.
Do you know that scene in Friends? And I'm asking maybe more Lorenzo than Robert, where it is Chandler, Rachel, and Ross getting a couch up the stairs.
Pivot. Yeah. Yeah.
All I can imagine when you just said that was Ross screaming pivot.
Yeah. It's,
So this is just something they're thinking about right now.
this has been presented to their, what is it? The investors and board need to approve this new company direction.
Well, April 15th, they announced that they secured a $50 million convertible finance facility to help with the pivot.
So they're already making infrastructure or location investment in this.
Wow. So and even with just this building up the structures of it says their stock has jumped over 400%.
As soon as you add that AI in there. Now, it is important to note that if you're fans of Allbirds physical goods,
Yeah.
that has been sold for $39 million to
The American Exchange Group, who
Yes.
owns Aerosols, Echo Unlimited, and a ton of other fashion brands.
yeah, and that includes Allbirds brand and footwear assets. So you may still be able to get these maybe under a different name if those are your go-to footwear or
Yeah, which is really funny because they just announced a new line of shoes last week. So
Yes. Yeah. Hey, here are our new latest shoes.
Surprise AI
Surprise,
pivot.
we're getting out of this market. This does, and the article references it there at the end, is during the crypto craze of 2017, Long Island Iced Tea Corporation changed their name to Long Blockchain, and their stock instantly jumped. They did not have anything to do with cryptocurrency. They did not have a coin. They just changed their name. And because it included blockchain in the name, people started investing in them, which is pretty wild.
So Allbirds will, if this all goes to plan, Allbirds will switch over to being known as New Bird AI. That will hopefully also change their logo.
Kind of like the Allbirds name.
Allbirds, nice name, yeah.
Allbirds is a very nice name. The $39 million sale probably bought the Allbirds name
Yes, yeah.
and branding
which
as well.
comes with the name change.
Yeah. So they're kind of, if this goes right, they're currently probably just in limbo right now as they get everything filed.
So I guess realistically, the headline should have been company sells itself and all of its IP and a new company is born. I guess. I don't know. It seems like it. Yeah.
The new star is born.
Yeah. Well,
It seems like they kind of wanted to keep the notoriety of being known as the Allbirds
right.
company
Yeah.
while moving to the AI space.
Yeah, I'm sure just the name itself carries a lot of investment opportunity.
Yeah.
But
I found this one really interesting too.
in good news, I guess, for consumers,
Very good news for consumers.
a jury has found that Live Nation, owners of Ticketmaster, acted as a monopoly and overcharged ticket buyers.
Yeah. It took 4 days of deliberation for them to
That is a
find,
surprising amount of time.
for the federal jury in Manhattan to find them guilty.
Surprising in that it's short or that it's long.
I think that's a little bit longer than I would have expected to be maybe a day of deliberation.
Oh.
Just because have either of you had to buy tickets through Ticketmaster? Oh, you are so lucky. It is such a pain.
My sister has
Yes,
though
okay,
for me. So I pseudo understand the pain of Ticketmaster.
So it, I guess, what all is there? So some venues have to use Ticketmaster. Like they have a contract to only sell their tickets through Ticketmaster. And then when you buy a ticket, you get the Ticketmaster fee, the venue fee. If you want to be able to change or resell your ticket, you have to pay an additional fee, at least for the things that I've purchased.
Because I know for some of them you couldn't be able to resell
so
if it were like a hot commodity ticket.
Yeah, but those tickets cost more. And then if you lose your ticket or if you transfer to someone and they don't have the pass and that ticket is just lost forever, there's a lot that goes into, I want to see this event. Here is money. Please let me see the event and have a seat or a space. Yeah.
So the decision is a victory for 33 states and the District of Columbia that all accused Live Nation of unfairly controlling too many aspects of the live entertainment industry at the expense of venues, artists, and fans. It was, I think I heard somewhere, probably on, I think the Kid Credit Morning Show was talking about this. They charged you $1.75 more per ticket. But when you have a stadium that fits
thousands and
thousands of people, that money racks up quite quickly. Now, please, again, I say this every time that please don't quote me on any of this, but 39 states and the District of Columbia joined the Justice Department's lawsuit in 2024 against Live Nation.
So the company has agreed to cap service fees at certain amphitheaters and allow some concert venues greater flexibility over the promoters and ticket distributors with whom they choose to do business.
Yeah.
It's something.
Reached a $280 million settlement. I believe I also read somewhere that Live Nation might go back to court to fight this decision.
I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
In other good news for consumers, actually, this one was very surprising. NZXT has agreed to let customers keep their rental PCs in a class action settlement. This story, for our listeners, there is a great investigative piece by Gamers Nexus on YouTube. So go check out Gamers Nexus on YouTube. They did a whole piece investigating how the rental agreement works. It's wild. So when you would go to purchase a PC through this rental program, rent a PC, the specifications you had for the rental PC, and if you were to just buy it outright, the rental PC was a worse computer than if you were to just pay for it outright. But you would never, it was not a rent to own program, it was just a rental program. So you would never reach the point where you've paid off that PC and then now own it.
Okay. You
would just pay indefinitely into the service to have the PC. And it's a wild ride. So definitely recommend watching that piece from Gamers Nexus. I think it's an hour and a half long, but yeah. So the program is not ending. Program's still running. They just have agreed to make it more explicit that the systems are not being purchased, they're being rented. Agreed to change the way they display, hey, if you buy it, here's this, versus if you rent it, you are getting something different by changing the name, not having them both be the same thing. So for example, if we were doing it, which we're not trying to scam you, it would be like if you're shopping our Armor TL with these specifications, we say, oh, you can rent this PC, and then it's an Armor ES instead, is the equivalent change in specification.
Yeah, the Gamers Nexus claimed that customers received less powerful components than expected, and the rental PCs had inaccurate benchmark results too.
Yes, yeah. The benchmark results would have been based on the buy it outright.
Yeah, 3 customers filed a complaint for a class action in the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of California against NZXT and the payment and debt collection company, stating that they were tricked through a bait and switch tactic and that the companies conspired to, quote, defraud consumers through gross misrepresentation and illegal business practices.
So,
end quote.
It's not just NZXT, it's also Flex, who was their financing partner,
and their advertising partner.
Correct, yes. So Flex handled everything beyond building the PC.
Yeah.
So the agreement would allow certain cash allowances or payments for people whose accounts are more than 90 days delinquent as of March 30th, 2026. and they signed up for the NZXT Flex program between October 29th of 2024 and June 1st of 2025. So if they were no longer able to make those payments, there is some money going towards paying off or relieving that debt that they've accrued.
Yeah.
There's also up to $5,000 to members who are 90 days past due on payments in that same forgiveness pool.
Yeah.
They
reached a settlement April 7th with 19,322 customers. Mm-hmm. The value of the PCs that users are keeping, the agreement says that it approximates to $1.2 million. I don't know.
That's a lot of PCs.
That's a lot of PCs. No
matter how you slice it.
Yeah. So, and finally, NZXT agreed to change business practices by trying to prohibit social media influencer advertising campaigns from making statements that customers have an ownership interest in the Flex PC.
Well, would you look at that? I'd always personally advise against renting a PC, but turns out you could have a chance to get a whole one for free.
Yeah.
If they're just doing fraudulent practices there.
If you rent a PC from somewhere shady and it gets found out that it's shady and then goes to court and then found that it is shady, maybe you'll get your PC for free. Not a pro-life tip. Please don't do that. Please don't bank on that happening.
Very risky.
No.
Especially after this has happened. Probably going to be seeing a lot less.
They also agreed to update Flex's website to prominently inform customers that they can use software to transfer data from one PC to the other. They agreed to maintain these business practices until the end of 2027.
That's not very long.
That's not very long, and that's kind of a gross thing for them to agree to. You should not agree to maintain these practices.
We'll only behave ourselves till the end of next year.
That's what I feel like that statement.
Yeah. And the fact that they're still running the program. I understand this is Flex's whole thing is they'll help you like Klarna or any of the other finance. Yeah.
But if you just got class action lawsuits slapped against you, I feel like you should just take a break.
But what do we know? We like to sell PCs that you own outright. It's yours. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we've got some gaming news now.
Yes, we do. Classical series, James Bond video game 007 First Light has revealed their new theme song, which is going to be sung by Lana Del Rey. Grammy Award nominated singer Lana Del Rey has been looking to get into the James Bond series for a while now. She's submitted songs, and it's been one of her dreams to one day get featured in a James Bond project. And now her wish has finally come true.
She got turned down in 2015.
I didn't realize she was such a big, fan of James Bond or wanted to be involved in the project.
Yeah, me neither. I actually like the song pretty good. I think it matches James Bond as a series and her music.
I actually didn't like it. I know we talked about this prior to us recording. I really liked the music because you 100% could hear the original, James Bond theme song kind of in there, but I just felt like the lyrics didn't match. But that's my personal opinion on it.
And that's okay. It's okay for everyone to have a different opinion.
Likes and dislikes things. The song is an original track written by Lana Del Rey and composed by David Arnold, who scored every James Bond film from Tomorrow Never Dies until Quantum of Solace.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, she originally wrote one of her songs for 2015's Spectre, but was rejected for Sam Smith's Oscar-winning Writings on the Wall. So now she joins Sam Smith, Billie Eilish, and Adele, and a couple of other pretty good names for writing James Bond songs.
Nice. I didn't know that was a commonly shared thing between a lot of high-profile celebrities that sing.
So for the last couple of James Bond movies, the introduction to the movie where it kind of shows you who's in it and all, it feels kind of like a theme song, has always been kind of a popular singer, with the last one being Billie Eilish. So,
well, if you want to listen to the song, you can check it out in our show notes.
Yeah, out now.
Another high-profile celebrity involved in some more gaming news is Jacksepticeye is making a movie based off the game Bloodborne. Sony Pictures announced during CinemaCon 2026 that an animated feature based on From Software's critically acclaimed Bloodborne. The movie will be produced by Popular YouTuber Sean William McLaughlin, better known as Jacksepticeye.
Have you played Bloodborne?
I have played Bloodborne.
Okay.
Yeah,
I have not. Is it good?
it's a pretty good game. It's shares a lot with the other Dark Souls series with just a few other twists that makes it so beloved by other players. And I think it fits pretty well for that game.
What's the main hook? I know Sekiro is all about parrying.
All about pairing.
Right.
This actually does include pairing, but the main hook that's not in other Dark Souls games is that you get a gun and the environment.
Yeah.
Just people really like the vibe of the whole game being dark and then in desolated kind of
Like cityscapes instead of
I'm
like
trying to
castles and
avoid saying European streets. But yeah, it's kind of like that old timey desolated castle thing.
Seems pretty cool.
Yes. Jacksepticeye shared a personal message with fans of this franchise stating, "I'm going to do everything in my power to make this the best Bloodborne adaptation possible. Not only is it my favorite game ever made, but I know how truly passionate the fans of this game are and how much hunger they have for more of it."
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's a good message.
Yeah. And that's coming up on the heels of Markiplier's success with Iron Lung.
Yes, that was another video game movie adaptation, which did pretty well in theories. We talked about it in theaters. We talked about it in the last podcast, how it was top grossing for a while.
Yeah.
And then they took it off.
And then they took it off.
And there was a whole back and forth. I remember that.
Yeah, he used that for more publicity for the movie.
Ended up getting people to want to see it even more. Yeah.
Yep. Hopefully, people will see that. If they like that movie, they'll have faith in Jacksepticeye and he can deliver a pretty good Bloodborne movie.
Yeah. We reviewed Crimson Desert, gave it a score. I'd like to change my score to like an 8.5. It's been really good. So good, in fact, that...
Pop the champagne. Pearl Abyss is celebrating that Crimson Desert has reached 5 million copies sold worldwide.
It is the talk of the lab here, talk of the office.
If you don't come in here, if you walk in this building for 5 minutes, you have to update your progress on Crimson Desert.
You have to say what you found, where you found, what have you done? Yeah. The question, did you play last night or have you played since yesterday is first thing we ask.
So they've been tweaking a couple of things with patches, boss difficulty, adding private storage, and apparently fixing how diabolically awful teleporting is with some of their smaller patches.
Okay.
So they haven't been like super big updates since because it's a very recent game, of course, but
they're working towards making it better.
They are changing lots of small things. Yeah,
and it's really helpful. Like, I didn't realize that that update added so many new teleport locations that weren't there before.
I was looking at the it's not very far in the game, the Merchants Guild camp. Used to just have one teleport and now there are 3 around it.
Yeah.
And I don't remember activating those. Why are there 3? I don't know why there are 3 around this one location, but sure. Yeah. The controls continue to be my biggest hang up with the game, but it's good enough that I'm playing anyway. It's great. Yeah.
How about the story? Is that improving now?
Maybe. It's hard to tell the difference between, so for context, the game, there's some magical elements and there's the building up your camp element. I haven't interacted much with the magical stuff, and I think that may be the main story, but interacting with like the camp and the companions there is pretty nice, but it's a typical open world RPG. Yeah. It's just, there's lots of stuff to find, lots of areas to explore, and it's pretty nice. In less, I guess, positive news, I guess this is positive, Bungie has responded to player outcries with co-op and PvE rewarding marathon mechanics in a new update. I remember when we talked about Marathon, I felt like it was very much a PvP based game. If you saw an enemy, shoot first, ask questions later, versus in Arc Raiders, there is some chance for player interaction or cooperation to extract.
Yeah.
Now Bungie has added a system called the Carry Protocol, which is a new mechanic that encourages cooperative play by rewarding you with special currency you can spend in a new shop for extracting with other teams or for teaming up with other solo players and extracting together.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, just a small way to help players engage with each other with words rather than with bullets, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see if this brings people back. I have not played Marathon for a while.
Mm.
I'll say that on release we were playing every night, but since then I have not.
Yeah, and the same sentiment. I haven't even played Arc Raiders in a while.
Really? You're off? Okay.
Yeah.
Crimson Desert has taken over my gaming time.
Yeah.
100%.
I don't think we can blame it on being
it's
bored with the game. We just found something.
I can only play one game at a time.
Yeah.
In other gaming news, Fortnite Festival now supports MIDI drum kits. So you can dust off your old Rock Band drum kit or a actual MIDI drum kit that you have and use it in the game. That's really it, right?
Yeah, it's nice that they allow you to customize what the instruments that you're using appear to be on the screen, even though I don't think there's any specific mechanics tied to any specific
Does it still play the same music?
Yeah, it's like a Guitar
regardless?
Hero type of beat matching to the rhythm of the game.
Gotcha. Okay.
Either way, but that's really cool.
Is it fun?
Is it fun? I actually do like rhythm games, and I think it's pretty fun. The fact you can do it with 3 other people simultaneously, and
that's cool.
you
Rock
have your own
band, actual rock band style.
Yeah, it's pretty fun when you have some friends on and you all got a nice song you want to listen to. Or
CinemaCon happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some kind of big news.
It's like,
I'm actually kind of excited. When Disney had their panel, they went through and they announced the Moana live action remake that's happening, Toy Story 5, the fight against technology.
You mentioned this, but I didn't put together that it was Toy Story.
Yes.
You mentioned fight against technology. I thought it was just a new franchise.
No. Wow. Toy Story is coming back for a 5th movie, and it will be the old gang. Woody's coming back. Not to spoil 4, but Woody actually leaves Bonnie, who is his new owner, to go live out in the wild west of the world. So he comes back to help his friends fight against the lily pad, which is probably their version of an iPad.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
So that one should be interesting to see.
I wonder if she's going to have AI on the iPad. That's the hardest fight against the toys. The toys are going to have to worry about pretty soon.
Surprise. But they also announced The Mandalorian and Grogu releasing another trailer, I believe, for them. But the biggest finale they had was the first trailer of Avengers Doomsday. And it brings back characters that we may have thought their stories had ended. Specifically, so the IGN article that I'm referencing for this one is it actually breaks down the trailer and actually tells you. I wish it had linked it so I could actually watch it. But apparently Captain America comes back. Well, Steve Rogers comes back. He is no longer Captain America.
Oh, okay.
So if you haven't been keeping up, which Lorenzo's head shakes no.
I got a little bit overwhelmed with just all of the media releasing
Fair enough.
After Endgame. Yeah.
Fair enough. So at the end of Endgame, Steve hands the shield to Sam Wilson. Then in the show The Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert for anybody
who cares.
You can just skip past all of this, but I'll give you a quick rundown. Yeah. In The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Sam gives it up because he doesn't think he would make a good Captain America. They name a new guy to be Captain America. They basically battle it out. Sam comes out on top as Captain America. Then it leads into his movie, A Brave New World. He is the Captain America of the MCU. So Chris Evans did come out to the panel. So it was the Russo brothers who are directing and Kevin Feige and Robert Downey Jr. who is playing Doctor Doom, which should be really interesting because he, of course, is famous for his Iron Man role. So I wonder how he'll be as a villain this time. But Evans reportedly said that he needed a really good reason to come back. And he doesn't like this Doom guy. So that's a really good reason for him to come back.
I wonder what character he's going to be playing now.
I think he's going to be Steve. I think they're bringing Steve Rogers back.
Oh.
Just as Steve Rogers,
Rogers.
So, I see. I was getting the impression that Captain America's gone means Steve Rogers gone, but you just mean the title of
The title of Captain America got passed to Sam.
Yeah.
And I, in the past, have done some quick glancing at characters. I'm not a big comic book person, but I really actually kind of do enjoy these movies. They're fun to watch. The whole Infinity Saga was really fun to kind of piece together. But he's got like a bunch of different, in the comic books, I think he goes by a bunch of different names, not just Captain America.
Okay. We'll see what he can do. He's still got that serum in him, so.
Yeah. Yeah. They also did announce Infinity Vision. So it is a new certification for premium large format theaters designed to help with the biggest, brightest, and most immersive cinematic experience.
I thought they were just announcing another Vision movie.
That's what everybody thought. So larger screens, the theaters with the largest screens for maximum scale, laser projection for superior brightness and clarity, and premium audio formats for fully immersive sound. So very bright and very loud. This will all debut when they re-release Avengers Endgame September 25th and will be followed by the December 18th release of Avengers Doomsday.
I could be convinced to go watch Endgame in this new Infinity Vision.
I could also be, yeah.
I've never seen it, so maybe.
You've never seen Endgame?
Never.
Did you follow the original? Well, to be fair, I didn't watch all of the original Marvel movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
Did you watch?
seen
Okay.
some, like I know Civil War's whole deal and
It's someone who's watched a good chunk of them. I don't think I haven't seen Homecoming. I've never
I
watched
really enjoyed that
Spider-Man
one, yeah.
Homecoming. But as someone who's seen some of the other Spider-Man movies, I can kind of understand the backstory of Spider-Man enough to kind of get my way through it. There are some movies I don't think you really need to watch in the Infinity Saga. I think the Avengers ones are pretty good to watch. And then like maybe one or two independent that are really like
Iron Man.
Iron Man's a good one. Thor's good because it kind of helps explain a lot of the more Thor 2 than Thor 1. I can't watch the first Thor because Chris Hemsworth's eyebrows are really blonde and it looks like he doesn't have any.
That's the main thing that takes away from the movie.
Me.
And that's okay, Abby. We support having your own opinions. Yeah.
He comes up and is like, jump scare.
It's like Goku going Super Saiyan 3. He loses the eyebrows. Right? There's a reference for you. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand now.
I completely get it. It's weird.
It's just jump scare. But I believe you. Otherwise, it would just take too long. And there are some of them that I just don't think. Haven't seen The Incredible Hulk. Understand the premise of the movie.
Does the Incredible Hulk still did he get the one that we have currently in the MCU? Does he have his own solo movie? I thought that they had a different actor.
They did.
Okay.
So The Incredible Hulk is Edward Norton. And then something happened and he got fired and they hired Mark Ruffalo.
And that still follows his backstory.
That follows his backstory.
Oh,
So
yeah.
in the MCU, it is the same character.
Yes, technically it is still an origin movie, but
Because I was going to bring up, probably not. I was going to bring up the same movie. Like, you probably don't have to see Incredible Hulk to know anything about Infinity, Civil War, Infinity War, any of that.
because they kind of recap a good chunk of the characters in the first Avengers movie. You kind of understand as they're introducing them into the movie that the movies, but I think a really good one was Black Widow had a good background because you don't know a lot about her.
Didn't that movie come out after?
It did. It came out in 21. I think before Endgame, I want to say. It was like super late, but that one was a really good because it focused more on her independent strength than powers.
Yeah,
really.
I think prior to that, she only debuted in like an Iron Man movie as like a character that just shows up and like.
Yeah, you knew nothing about her.
Yeah.
So getting it kind of later on also kind of filled in a lot of what she's done before is the reason, like what she did there is because of all of,
Okay. So avoid spoilers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry,
you go.
there's my one tangent for the podcast.
That's fine.
But a fun fact. Doomsday is coming out the same weekend Dune 3 is coming out.
Whoa.
They're coming out December 18th. So I guess we'll see. Will it be another Barbieheimer?
Will it be a Doomsday weekend?
Doomsday weekend. Yeah.
Everyone wins except movie theater employees.
Yeah, they're prepare. Just prepare.
Please be nice to those poor workers.
Yes, they're trying their hardest.
They are.
Clean up after yourselves.
Oh,
Yes.
Please. Absolutely. And don't be disruptive.
Don't have another Minecraft movie moment.
Yeah, the chicken jockey moment.
Don't
Please
have the cops called on you.
Yes.
Speaking of the Infinivision, on the other end of the media consumption,
Yeah. Netflix has announced it's launching a vertical video feed by the end of April, alongside a major UI overhaul for the mobile app. But the vertical video feed will only be mobile. So I guess Disney Plus and Peacock have already started the process of doing this to adopt these short form videos. It feels like it's just going to be another TikTok, unfortunately.
On Netflix? Wow.
That's what it is. It's going to be a scrollable vertical format for you.
I guess for a lot of
they'll
their
have there.
original shows, they'll probably have little memes and stuff like clips from the show that people can watch to maybe get them thinking about it. So that maybe I'll watch this. This is a pretty short clip.
That would make sense. See, I don't know if either of you are the same way, but if I'm watching a show or like a TV show or a movie, I tend to not want to watch it on my phone. Like I'll save it for a bigger screen later, whether that's my computer or the living room TV. Do you I'll consume YouTube on my phone. I don't know. It's just something psychologically in my mind. It needs to be on the big screen.
For TV shows, I
Or like anime or TV shows
watch
or
it
anything.
on my phone, actually.
Really? Okay.
But
Really?
for movies, I will save it for the big
You'll save
screen.
it for the big screen. Okay.
I am if it is a new movie or TV show, big format.
Okay.
If it is something that I can turn on and go about my business and just have it as audio background on my phone,
Really? Okay.
because it's something that
Got
I
the
can.
full gamut here.
Yeah. So they also announced that they will include AI. Yeah. Lorenzo's.
It all comes full circle.
It all comes full
70%, we're meeting the
circle.
quota.
We're meeting the quota. So Netflix says that it has been using generative AI to improve recommendations for members through deeper content understanding so they can recommend the right titles at the right moment.
Generative AI. That's an odd. The right titles at the right moment. Is that possibly generating different thumbnails to target? For example, if there's a show,
It could also be.
could it show maybe a different character from that show to two different users browsing to maybe entice them to watch?
maybe that, or also list curations.
Yeah.
I know that when you kind of scroll, it's like, oh, hey, you watched this show, so here's other ones that we would recommend.
Ours is documentaries and murder mysteries. It's because you watched these murder mysteries, here are more dark shows for you.
Oh, yeah.
At least
Primarily for me, it was Supernatural until it left Netflix.
Yeah.
So it was here's all of the shows similar to that. And I was like, I don't want to watch any of these.
Just give me my show.
Yeah.
No. Essentially.
Yeah. Netflix also announced that its co-founder, Reed Hastings, will step down in June.
Wow.
Yeah, he was a huge part of Netflix's transition from the old DVD by mail service to the streaming giant we know it as.
What? He's been there for that long?
The other co-founder, Mark Randolph, left the company close to a year after it went public in 2002.
Yeah, I remember subscribing to Netflix back when it was order a DVD service.
I remember when it was a DVD
was
order
very cool.
service.
I don't even remember that.
You would have your list of DVDs or shows or movies that you wanted.
It was also tied in with Redbox, wasn't it?
Was it?
I think it was.
Okay, maybe. I don't remember. I remember using Redbox. I remember using Netflix. I don't remember a crossover, a collaboration.
I don't know. We never ordered DVDs from Netflix.
Oh, really? Okay.
No, but we did get into the Netflix app pretty early on. My sister signed my mom up for it. She convinced my mom to get Netflix.
So you would have a list of shows you want to watch in ranked order, and they would mail you the first one that was available on that list, like your highest rated one that was available. You'd watch it, return it, and they'll mail you the next one that was available, and you'd watch that, return it.
Wow. So they had so much business to the point where they had to wait for some to be available at the time.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
They've made it in that order. Okay.
Yeah. So this all comes after they listed their earnings report following their highly publicized unsuccessful attempt to acquire Warner Brothers. And announced that it was raising subscription prices last month. So I guess we'll see if you really get your money's worth out of the horizontal and the vertical formats.
Yeah, now you get a TikTok already free app onto your Netflix paid subscription.
Yes. Now, instead of watching all the clips on, for me, YouTube Shorts, for you all, TikTok or Instagram, instead of seeing a show through Shorts on there, I can now see it on.
Yeah.
Sure. Why
Somewhere
not?
already went to watch those.
Yeah. I'm actually really curious to see what the vertical format's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
If it's going to be like actually the show, or if it's just going to be like
Essentially ads for the shows.
clips for the shows. So
I always get on Netflix sometimes. I'm like, I need to watch something new, and I just want to scroll. I end up scrolling through like 100 title pages.
That's the thing, is you spend the amount of time you would watching an episode looking for something to watch.
Yeah.
and I just go back to what I've seen before,
Yep.
because it's just so much decision fatigue.
Yeah.
So maybe that'll help relieve some of that. Just seeing a short clip from something and maybe a moment that people like and gets people into the show, and you're like, that'll
Like
make
a
me
button that says watch now, and then you start watching it. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Netflix, reach out to us.
They're like, we're already doing that.
Like, thanks for the idea. Writing it down. No. Well, listen, Pokemon Pop-Tarts are coming back.
You
and
know-
I need some. So the article title is Pokemon Pop-Tarts are back for the first time in 25 years, and I need one right now, is the article headline.
Yes.
And they look fun. They're Pop-Tarts.
You don't know what? They say that these are 25. They're coming back for the first time in 25 years. I think I remember these, and I am almost 25. I'm outing myself right now.
Maybe your parents had a few Pop-Tarts, just boxes of Pokemon Pop-Tarts kicking around.
No.
I don't know how long Pop-Tarts stay viable.
I feel like they're like
Consumable.
Twinkies.
Just forever.
Just forever. The specific Pop-Tarts is going to be the frosted vanilla cupcake that will feature legendary starters like Pikachu, Charmander, Bulbasaur on the packaging. And you will only be able to find them at Target.
No love for Squirtle.
No love for Squirtle.
Absolutely none. No. Yeah. So the Pokemon and Target collaboration will include over 100 items exclusive to Target, and the Pop-Tart specifically will be available in stores on May 2nd and online the next day. We are not affiliated with Pokemon or Target.
Nope.
Just thought it was something fun.
Nope.
How fast till the scalpers get in there?
That's
lot.
the depressing part. Yeah, you'll see people with carts full of Pokemon Pop-Tarts and Pokemon cards at the same time.
This is all celebrating the 30th anniversary of Pokemon, and some of the other items include clothing, kickballs, fragrances, detangling hairbrushes, and water bottles, and way more. Yeah, when your hair gets...
Yes. I'm just surprised.
Just
like
surprised that's Pokemon themed.
Yeah, Pokemon.
I wonder what the fragrances are going to be.
Ooh, Charizard, Fire.
It'd be like Fire Blast, Thunderbolt.
Yes.
Sweet Scent is a Pokemon move.
Squirtle.
Just squirt water gun. Yeah, I don't know.
Some
That water gun on
mysterious
me.
fragrance.
Yeah. If you like Pokemon and you shop at Target, check them out. In other possible things you can purchase news, you can buy the 400 gigabyte memory card. The same model of 400 gigabyte memory card that the Artemis 2 crew used to capture and save pictures.
Only 400 gigabytes?
Yeah. Only I hope they had more than one to save,
Yeah.
in case they got full or to make a copy. But yeah, the Pro Grade Digital entered a Space Act agreement with NASA to support Artemis missions during its CF Express Type B using its CS Express Type B Iridium cards. That is a mouth. And you can buy one for the low price of $459.
Oh my God, I found them.
I do not have any devices that would use this.
No, I found the fragrances.
You found the fragrances.
I found the fragrance. I went to Target's website. Pineapple Spark for Pikachu. Green Crush for Bulbasaur. Peach Mallow Dreams for Jigglypuff. So they're really, really making some weird combinations. Sorry, I was like scrolling and
Thought they'd have more Pokemon-centric names.
yeah.
Fruits. Come on.
That's a lot of money for a STD.
Yes. But it is now they can market it as
It went to the moon.
what would they say? Like instead of military grade, space grade.
Space grade.
Space grade materials. Yeah.
That's a good one.
Oh,
0G compatible.
That's a good one.
specific. I think it's. Did you say it was the Nikon Z9 camera?
No, I didn't say it. Just devices that would have to support CF Express. Yeah, which the Nikon Z9 does.
Yeah.
So probably not a device that you have in your home right now unless you're a professional photographer, videographer with some pretty high-end equipment. Yeah.
Maybe you end up in a
That'd be
0G
So
simulated
cool, though.
environment and you got to take pictures.
Yeah.
It would be so cool, though. There'd be so many photos.
Yeah.
You would
I just
never run
wouldn't-
out of space.
Yeah, you just wouldn't stop capturing photos and video.
Yeah.
Artemis isn't only helping out videographers. We also have a game that is recently being revived. Kerbal Space Program is now coming back to Steam in record numbers due to the Artemis mission, having players simulate the mission, simulate and recreate the spaceship used, the rocket ship used to get to loop around the moon. And so far, the game's been topping charts on Steam.
I believe it. People are very into Kerbal Space Program.
Yes. I remember watching YouTubers play the game and build rocket ships, and I always wanted to try it out, but it looks so complicated. And
Yeah.
as a kid, I was like, I couldn't even wrap my head around the stuff they were doing. And I realized if I get it, I'd just waste money buying the game and not even lifting off the ground.
Yeah. Kerbal Space Program is an engineering management game that turns players into rocket scientists by letting them build and fly spaceships. The name Kerbal comes from the small green aliens that players direct as they build and perform experiments. And according to this article, it's realistic enough that even people at NASA are big old fans of it. So
Going back to Jacksepticeye, I actually watched him play this game.
Really?
And he was pretty good at it. So if he can make a rocket, maybe he can make a good movie too.
Fingers crossed. Yeah. In the past, we've covered different components, just CPUs, memory, storage, air versus liquid cooling. Today, we want to talk about a little bit about GPUs or graphics cards. With the current state of pricing, upgrading your graphics card or even investing in a new PC is a bit of a purchase. So we want to make sure, give you a couple tips on how to get the best value for your dollar.
yeah.
Modern games, I feel like when you're looking at GPU, VRAM is something you'll see advertised. So it'll usually be anywhere from 2, hopefully not, up to 16 or even 24 or 32 gigabytes of VRAM. I feel like the minimum nowadays is about 8 gigs is a good sweet spot. So the 5050, our most affordable offering, has 8 gigabytes of VRAM. That'll be good for 1080p, 1440p gaming. If you're moving up to 4K gaming, it's a little bit of a stretch. So that's when you start looking at cards like the 5070 that have 12 gigabytes of VRAM, or the 5070 Ti and 5080, which have 16 gigabytes of VRAM, just because your GPU needs space to store those textures. And there's just not enough space to store textures and game data in less than 8 or 12 gigabytes of VRAM. And then other than that, NVIDIA has a lot of really cool technologies like DLSS, which let you run the game internally at a lower resolution, upscale it to get better frame rates with similar visual quality to running native. And then they also have Frame Gen, which we've played around with a little bit here, which actually will double or triple your frame rate for a smoother feel, but the game's still running at your original frame rate. It's pretty cool technology. If you're shopping on the AMD side, same thing. 8 gigs of VRAM I feel like is a minimum, but instead of DLSS, they have FSR, which is a similar technology. We just haven't had as much experience with it here because we generally just offer NVIDIA GPUs. Yeah, so if you, and we tend to balance our configs around the GPU, CPU interaction. So we're not going to give you a super high-end GPU with a GPU with a CPU that'll bottleneck it and vice versa in our configs. So if you're shopping, whether from us or someone else, it's generally safe to look at our configurations, see what we think you should pair with each component. With that said, I think that's going to about do it for our episode of the DogHouse Systems podcast this week. I hope you all are doing well and have a great day and a great week. How can people get in contact with us, Abby?
Yeah, you can email us at podcast@doghousesystems.com. You can give us a call at 972-810-4347, or you can DM us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, and Threads at DogHouse Systems.
Toodaloo.
That's my line.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
See you next time.
Toodaloo.
Toodaloo.